Hello, friends of poetry. So nice to speak to you this way. I'm Naomi Shihab Nye, and I'm thrilled that my anthology of poems and paintings, Is This Forever or What?, from Texas, was selected as an honor book this year for the Bennett Hopkins Poetry Prize. Special thanks to Bennett Hopkins for all you do, Lee, to support poetry and poets around the nation. Thanks for bringing poems into the lives of so many young people. I send you much love from the bluebonnet land of Texas right now. This book has a cover by Billy Hassel, who lives in Fort Worth, one of my favorite Texas painters for 30 years or more. His painting is called The Long Farewell. There are many other paintings by wonderful Texas painters inside the book. I'd like to read from the flap copy. Texas. The state line stretches for 2,842 miles. There are coasts and mountains and rivers and lakes and cities and towns and disappearing towns and fields of wildflowers and hills and wide open places. The state of mind has no borders, and the 140 Texans in this book are about to show you why. Inside the book, we put actual headlines from Texas newspapers. Things like, Angora goat sale successful. I'd like to read one of my favorite poems. It's by Robert Trammell of Dallas, Nearing 100 Degrees. I do not need to be in an air-conditioned room in the afternoon. I just need to know that it exists. From the introduction to the book. We drove across Texas. People in other parts of the United States often say, once. Although the title of this book springs from a poem about young romance by Carrie Fountain, it echoes a question asked by many travelers crossing Texas for the first time. What do you mean, more than 700 miles from Beaumont to El Paso? Are you serious? Truly, it is farther from Texarkana in the east of the state to El Paso in the far west than from Chicago to New York. From the Oklahoma border at the north to Brownsville at the south, it's 903 miles. Whether you're driving Corpus Christi to Lubbock, McAllen to Wichita Falls, Dallas to Kingsville, Austin to Marfa, or Longview to Junction, you'd better fill your gas tank and pack water, apples, and corn chips. Alaskans have a joke. They're talking about dividing their state in half, so Texas will be the third largest state. This seems funny to me, though it took me a minute to understand it. See, it is not true that Texans have no humility. One thing I have appreciated in reviews of this book is many people say, even if you've never been to Texas, you'll like these poems and paintings. They're for everybody everywhere. That makes me happy. My own poem is called San Antonio. Tonight I lingered over your name, the delicate assembly of vowels, a voice inside my head. You were sleeping when I arrived. I stood by your bed and watched the sheets rise gently. I knew what slant of light would make you turn over. It was then I felt the highways slide out of my hands. I remembered the old men in the West Side Cafe dealing dominoes like magical charms. It was then I knew, like a woman looking backward, I could not leave you or find anyone I loved more. So thanks again, Bennett Hopkins. Thanks to all of you. Please come down and visit us. And remember, there are many kinds of people down here, liberal Democrats as well as others, and we send out our love for poetry and our gratitude to all of you there.